Welcome to our show, Immigration Briefing. Today, we have some intriguing news starting with the arrest of Rodrigo Elices, an alleged Hells Angels boss, who was caught in Melbourne after a 2-year chase across 4 countries. Facing over 50 charges linked to drug and firearm offenses, this arrest marks a significant victory for law enforcement. Elices had been evading capture using fake passports, but now he's set to face justice in court. In political news, the Democratic Party is shifting gears as they look to state governors to lead the charge against Trump in the upcoming 2028 election. With national figures struggling in popularity, governors like Kentucky's Andy Beshear are stepping into the spotlight. This strategy highlights the Democrats' desire for fresh leadership and a focus on progressive policies, especially as they aim to combat Trump's anticipated mass deportation efforts. Lastly, Prime Minister Justin Trudeau has met with President-elect Trump to discuss enhancing border surveillance, in response to threats of tariffs on Canadian imports. Trudeau is committed to improving security measures to tackle undocumented immigration and drug trafficking, emphasizing the importance of the U.S.-Canada economic relationship. It looks like both countries are gearing up for a new chapter in border management. Please stay tuned for more detailed content. The Sydney Morning Herald reports on the dramatic arrest of Rodrigo Elices, a suspected Hells Angels boss, who was apprehended after a 2-year international manhunt that spanned 4 countries. Elices, 32, is facing over 50 charges related to drug and firearm offences, stemming from a police investigation that began after a drug house fire in Kogarah, Sydney. The investigation revealed a complex drug supply network, leading to the arrests of several accomplices. Elices managed to evade capture by traveling under a false identity to Thailand, and after a series of failed escape attempts, he was finally deported back to Australia, where he was arrested at Melbourne Airport. Authorities are determined to tackle serious drug and firearm crimes, emphasizing that no one can escape justice, regardless of their location. The Independent highlights the shifting political landscape for the Democratic Party as they look towards the 2028 presidential election amidst the fallout from recent electoral defeats. With discontent brewing among party members regarding the leadership's effectiveness, attention is turning to state governors who are seen as potential candidates and crucial allies in resisting Donald Trump's agenda. Governors like Andy Beshear of Kentucky and J.B. Pritzker of Illinois are stepping up to challenge Trump's policies, particularly regarding immigration and climate change initiatives. As these governors position themselves as leaders of the party's future, they are also advocating for their state's interests while preparing to take on the challenges posed by a possible Trump administration. The Guardian covers Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau's recent meeting with President-elect Donald Trump, where he pledged to enhance border security in response to Trump's threats of tariffs on Canadian imports. During a cordial dinner in Florida, Trudeau and Trump discussed measures to prevent undocumented crossings and drug trafficking along their shared border. Trudeau's administration plans to invest in additional surveillance technologies and personnel to reassure both Canadians and Americans of their commitment to border security. This cooperative tone contrasts sharply with past tensions between the two leaders, illustrating a shift towards a more collaborative approach to address trade and security issues as they navigate the complexities of their intertwined economies. The Globe and Mail reports that in a surprising turn of events, Ireland's main centrist parties, Fine Gael and Fianna Fáil, appear poised to maintain their grip on power despite a global trend of voters rejecting incumbent governments. Preliminary election results indicate that these two parties, which have dominated Irish politics for a century, are likely to secure enough seats to form another coalition government in the Dáil, the Irish Parliament. This comes as a stark contrast to the political climates in countries like Britain and France, where ruling parties are facing significant backlash. Analysts attribute Ireland's unique situation to its robust economy, with many voters feeling their economic circumstances have either remained stable or improved, leading them to favor the incumbents. The Guardian highlights a significant rise in small boat arrivals to the UK, surpassing 20,000 since Keir Starmer assumed leadership. This surge is attributed to an unusually high number of favorable weather days for crossings in the autumn, with the Home Office citing data that shows a dramatic increase in the number of people attempting the journey compared to the previous year. Home Secretary Yvette Cooper is preparing to address the House of Commons regarding a new deal with the Iraqi government aimed at combating people smuggling operations. As the Labour Party navigates this complex issue, it faces the challenge of addressing immigration while also ensuring the training of the British workforce to reduce reliance on migration. In a thought-provoking cartoon, Ella Barron of The Guardian sheds light on the controversial topic of immigration through the lens of the 600 Brazilians recently deported from the UK on secret flights. This illustration serves as a commentary on the ongoing struggles surrounding immigration policies and the often hidden narratives of those affected by such actions. The cartoon encapsulates the tension between governmental strategies and the human stories behind the statistics, prompting reflection on the implications of such deportations in the broader context of immigration and asylum in the UK. The Independent reports on the anxiety faced by DACA recipients like Reina Montoya, who fled violence in Tijuana and found hope in the Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals program. For Montoya, the program opened doors to legal work, healthcare, and a driver's license after years of living in fear of deportation. However, with Donald Trump returning to the White House and the potential for DACA's legality to be challenged, Montoya and over 535,000 other recipients are once again facing uncertainty. The program has not accepted new applicants since a federal ruling in 2021 deemed it illegal, leaving many scrambling to renew their permits as they brace for possible deportation. The Toronto Star echoes these sentiments, highlighting the ongoing legal battles that have plagued DACA since its inception. As the Biden administration appeals the ruling against new applications, recipients like Pedro Gonzalez-Aboid are preparing for the worst, discussing the painful possibility of family separations. The fear of mass deportations looms large, especially with Trump's history of anti-immigrant rhetoric and the staffing of his administration with hardliners. Experts predict that the legal challenges could ultimately lead to DACA being declared illegal, leaving many in a precarious position as they navigate the complexities of immigration policy and their futures in the U.S. In a different context, the South China Morning Post covers the excitement surrounding the resumption of multiple entry visas for Shenzhen residents traveling to Hong Kong. On the first day of applications, many flocked to self-service centers to secure their visas, with hopes of revitalizing local tourism and retail sectors. While some applicants expressed enthusiasm for spontaneous trips and family visits, industry representatives cautioned that immediate benefits might be limited due to changing spending habits among mainland visitors. Financial Secretary Paul Chan is optimistic about the long-term economic boost from increased travel, as Shenzhen's growing workforce could lead to higher spending in Hong Kong's retail and catering industries. South China Morning Post reports that China has recently expanded its visa-free entry procedures to include citizens from 38 countries, including Japan, allowing them to visit for up to 30 days. This initiative aims to boost tourism and support the economy, especially after the previous cancellation of a similar scheme in 2020 due to the pandemic. The article outlines 5 ways travelers can enter China without a visa, including transit stays in designated cities, entry through Hainan province, joining tour groups from Hong Kong or Macau, arriving via cruise ships, and the new visa-free access for passport holders from various countries. These measures are designed to simplify travel and encourage more foreign visitors to explore China. The Guardian highlights the frustrations of low-wage workers, particularly in the service industry, as they feel ignored by democratic leaders regarding pressing issues like the rising cost of living. Campaigners like Saru Jayaraman emphasize that voters are more concerned about their daily struggles, such as affording essentials like eggs and gas, rather than abstract economic discussions. The article features voices from workers like Sam Taub and Juan Carlos Romero, who express the urgent need for the Democratic Party to listen to and address the needs of working-class individuals, especially as fears grow about the incoming Trump administration's impact on labor rights and economic stability. South China Morning Post further notes that the recent visa-free entry expansions have contributed to a surge in foreign tourist numbers, nearing pre-pandemic levels. With 9 additional countries now eligible for visa-free access, travel interest in China has spiked, as evidenced by significant increases in online searches and flight bookings. Industry experts predict that 2024 will see the highest levels of inbound tourism since the pandemic, driven by these new policies. The article emphasizes that the initiative is not only about economic gains but also about fostering international connections and improving China's global image. The Toronto Star highlights the precarious state of Canada's immigration system, which is currently under immense strain due to an influx of immigrants and shifting public sentiment. The federal Liberal government, responding to growing discontent, has drastically reduced its immigration targets by 21% for 2025. The looming threat of mass deportations promised by U.S. President-elect Donald Trump adds to the urgency, as Canada is ill-prepared for a potential surge of migrants seeking refuge. Immigration Minister Mark Miller insists that Canada should not be equated with Mexico in terms of border issues, yet the reality remains that Canada lacks the resources and public support to handle a significant increase in migrants. The article calls for a robust plan to reinforce borders, involving more drones, helicopters, and patrols, while also addressing the exploitation of vulnerable individuals by unauthorized immigration consultants and human traffickers. Associated Press reports on the recent parliamentary elections in Iceland, where voters seem to have turned against incumbent parties, favoring the center-left Social Democratic Alliance. With over half the votes counted, the alliance has secured 15 seats, reflecting a shift in public sentiment amid rising concerns over immigration, energy policy, and economic stability. The election was prompted by the Prime Minister's decision to dissolve his coalition government after disagreements on these pressing issues. Iceland, known for its rich democratic traditions and a population of less than 400,000, is grappling with the same challenges that have affected many Western nations, including the rising cost of living and pressures from immigration, leading voters to express their dissatisfaction with the status quo. Australian Broadcasting Corporation details the decision by Home Affairs Minister Tony Burke to deny a visa to former Israeli Minister Ayelet Sheikht, citing concerns over her potential to threaten social cohesion in Australia. Sheikht, known for her controversial statements regarding Palestinians, had applied to attend a security conference and other events, but Burke emphasized that individuals whose past comments promote division would not be welcomed. He pointed out that a hardline approach would be taken against anyone deemed to demean others, regardless of their background. The Israeli government criticized the visa rejection as offensive, while Burke maintained that Australia would uphold its commitment to social harmony and international law, especially in light of ongoing tensions related to the Israel-Gaza conflict. Thank you for tuning in. The content above showcases the latest briefing reports and analytical synopses, thoughtfully curated by the 6Do team. These insights stem from a wide array of reputable media outlets, think tanks, government sources, and specialized experts worldwide. We encourage you to explore these sources for a comprehensive perspective. Keep in mind that while the content may not always align with the official standpoint of 6Do Brief, it's not meant to be taken as absolute directives for decision-making. Comprising seasoned media professionals, learned scholars, and accomplished scientists, the 6Do team embodies a trailblazing, fully independent media entity. To customize 6Do Brief to meet your professional needs, you have the option to subscribe to a diverse array of briefings on our website, 6dobrief.com. Regardless of your location, you can conveniently receive 6Do Brief via email.
Got a book so big and bright, open it and take a flight. Learn about the stars and see, everything is here for me. Flip the pages one by one, knowledge under the sun. From dinosaurs to galaxies, a world of endless mysteries. Encyclopedia, yay! Facts and fun all day. From A to Z, let's see. Curious minds run free. Jump into the pages deep. Secrets that you want to keep. Time will fly and you will find magic lies in every line. Animals and history, science full of mystery. Gotta read and gotta know. Watch our minds all start to grow. Encyclopedia, yay! Facts and fun all day. From A to Z, let's see. Curious minds run free, yeah. Jump into the pages deep. Secrets that you want to keep. Time will fly and you will find magic lies in every line. To run free line. Every line's run free. mystery. Science full of mystery.